Welcome back to Survival on Purpose, your home for trustworthy information and gear reviews related to camping, survival, and general preparedness for regular folks. My name is Brian. Thanks for joining me for another Sharp Saturday video where it's Saturday and we take a look at something sharp. And as I said today, that's going to be the UZI Tactical Folding Knife is what they're calling this one. I bought this one on Big Daddy Unlimited for $13.99, which is a good segue to say thanks to the folks at Big Daddy Unlimited for making these Sharp Saturday videos possible. And the way that works is if you go to survivalonpurpose.com/BDU, you can get signed up for your first month's trial membership for just 99 cents. That gets you into the membership site. You can check it out, look at the deals, look at the availability, see if it makes sense for you and you think you'll save money. If you do and you stick around, it's $10 a month or $100 a year basically. And if you do that, they'll throw me a couple of bucks for introducing you. So if you save money, it supports the channel and I appreciate it. So let's talk about this knife now. As I said, I'm gonna try to make this a very just one shot kind of video. We may do a little bit of something special, but because it's a folding knife, so it's not really a bushcraft knife. It's absolutely a tactical style knife. So it's pretty cool. I'm gonna try to give you some close-ups as I talk about the specs of this thing. So as I read from my little notes down here. So this thing features a 3.5-inch black coated stainless steel blade with a little slot in the middle. It's a dagger style pointy blade. It looks like a double edge, but the top edge is kind of a false edge. Closed, it is 4.5 inches long, and it has a little flipper on both sides, kind of like a finger guard, and it says it's assisted opening, but it has a little bit of overcoming. You have to do some overcoming to get it to flip, but once you do, it flips fine. And by that I mean it's not just a touch button. You have to get it to flipping. So some of them really almost touch them, and then it has a liner lock and a tip up carry black pocket clip, and the handles are black and gray grooved aluminum, and it's made in, China, right? So that being said, it seems like it's pretty well made. There's no wobble in the blade at all. The tip is very, very evenly ground. I don't know if I can even get it close enough for you to see it, but it's really pointy, and it looks pretty stabby. So, and it feels good in your hand. A couple things that I just want to point out about this though, because it's so symmetrical, right? There's really no index. So the only way you can really know which side you have to open is if you're right-handed like me, you're going to flick it like this. You want the pocket clip away from you if you're opening it with your right finger. Because if you don't do that, if you just grab it and try to do it, and you got the clip on your thumb, you can do that all day long, and she ain't going to open. So, like that. And then if you happen to turn around in your hand, you're not going to be able to close it. But the closing, you'll see that's not a big deal. But on the opening, you just have to get used to that. When you pull it out of your pocket, if you're right-handed, you pull it out of your pocket like that, it's going to be in the right place for you. So it's not like backwards or anything. It's just that it doesn't index a certain way in your hand. It's so symmetrical, which is pretty cool because it makes it look cooler, right? So, I mean, because you know how important it is that a knife looks cool. So anyway, what I thought I'd do is just do the basic industry standard sharp test. We'll start with the redneck sharp test. We'll just see. I'm gonna try to do this without cutting myself. And can you see that? It is not passing the sharp test, not even against the grain. So it looks good. I think because it's a dagger style blade, which means it's the thickest in the center. It has a lot less distance to come down from that thickness to the edge when it has a pretty good little ridge. So I think it should be reasonably strong. And then the secondary bevel is probably just a little too steep. So that being said, we'll try the other industry standard test that I don't like to do, the paper cutting test. Let's see how well it works with that. Usually if you get a good slice on it, it'll cut, but. So it just honestly, it doesn't have that great an edge on it from the factory. I mean, it'll cut, but it doesn't cut that great. So we're not going to do any chopping with it, any heavy-duty stuff, but because it's really not designed for that. So but it's just a tactical knife, but you might get in a situation where you need a knife just to do knife stuff. So let me show you a couple things with it. Okay, so I got you down on the old board top here because I don't want to get down on the stump top today, and we'll see how well this thing carves. This is really, really dry wood, and it's carving okay, but as you can see, it really just didn't quite pass the sharp test anyway. You can't really put your finger back there because although that's not an edge, it still doesn't feel very comfortable. So again, this is, to be fair, that's not what this knife's for, okay? But it is a knife. I like to do this kind of weird stuff. So what about this? I've got my old piece of fat wood here, and we'll just check it out and see if we can carve us a little bit of fat wood off of here. And the problem is it's just so not really sharp that you don't have as much control with it. I've told my Boy Scouts over and over and over, a sharp knife is a safer knife because you don't have to work as hard. But let's try the back, which is a false edge, but it doesn't feel squared anywhere. It feels rounded. Let's see if we can scrape with that. I've got to be really careful doing this. Matter of fact, well, I usually like to close them, but there's not enough sticking out here to do it. When I'm scraping with the back of a folding knife, in case the lock fails, I don't want to cut my hand, but just for you, I'm going to risk it, okay? So let's just see if it scrapes at all. And it does not scrape, so there's that. Let's try one more thing. See if it'll scrape a ferro rod with the back. Not really, so I'm sure the blade would, but we're not going to do that because that's obviously capable. So, well, you know what? I guess we could try one more thing. Okay, so that was some of the practical testing with this UZI tactical folding knife, the UZK-FDR-009. And I'm going to break my own rule and do something that I don't usually do just because this thing did so less than stellar on all the performance testing, from the industry standard redneck sharp test to the even slightly standard paper cutting test. It didn't cut paper very well. It's a knife, I get that. Now, as far as stabbing, I guarantee this is a stabber. It stabs fine. There's no doubt in my mind this thing will stab with the best of them because it's stabby. But I don't usually balance test folding knives because the testing process creates a lot of stress on the joint. But this one feels pretty solid, so I'm going to test this one because it's a little flippy. It's not only stabby, but flippy. I'm going to test this one just because I want to do something fun with it. But, man, this is not what this knife's designed to do, I promise you. But so far, the only thing that I found that it really seems to do well is stab. And I haven't even tested the stabbing, but you don't have to, okay? But so anyway, let's get all scientific here, because you do know at Survival on Purpose Worldwide Headquarters, we maintain a state-of-the-art cutting-edge knife testing facility where we do the absolute industry standard balance testing here using our balance, orientation, and rotation device. So let's see. And if this thing breaks, it's not going to mean it's not going to be on the knife. It's going to be on me. But let's see. Whoop, 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 whoop. Woohoo! Kind of went between the testing medium on the balance, orientation, and rotation device. So that probably helped it to not put too much stress on it. We're going to try one more. Okay, that put a little stress on it, but a little wobble in the blade now too. Let's try a little no spin. One more time. I can do that okay from close up. Let's do one more full spin. Okay, one more. I'll get a little further away. We're going to call this one balanced. 3, 2, 1. Okay, well, not bad, honestly. As you can see now, there's some more wobble in the blade that was not there. But again, that's on me because this is not designed to be thrown. It's a folding knife. So final thoughts, pros and cons about this knife. First of all, I have to say, and really the reason that I bought this, it caught my eye because it's a cool looking knife. And we both know that's really important when it comes to knives, is how cool they look. And no doubt it is very, very stabby. It's also pretty well balanced if you want to do this balance testing type thing, although that is going to be hard on the blade. The junction here, now I might could tighten that up some, which is going to impact the openability, but it's stabby. And it's got a nice open design. You can keep it clean. I didn't show you that. So those are kind of the pros. The cons for me are, it just didn't do the knife stuff really well. So if you need a knife that is stabby and of course looks cool, this could be a good one for you. And if you're willing to put a little time sharpening it, you could probably put some sharpening stuff on this thing and some of your sharpening magic and get a decent edge. But it's 15 bucks. I think if you're looking for a usable knife, there's probably better options for 15 bucks out there. And I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this to be negative. I'm just saying it's a cool looking knife. It's 15 bucks, but it's at least it's 20 bucks most everywhere else I looked, like 18 bucks on Amazon. And it's just like I noticed now, after the balance testing, when I throw it, the blade is kind of bent just a little bit off center. It wants to scrape going in. The ridge on it scrapes going in. So, and again, that's really on me, not the knife. So, okay, I'm gonna wrap this up. That's the UZI knife. survivalonpurpose.com/BDU for Big Daddy Unlimited. And thank you for watching Survival on Purpose. I really, really appreciate it. Remember, survival's not an accident, so be prepared. I'll see you next time.